Hello, my name is Greg, and today I wanted to do a designer demo for my newest design, Suited for Battle. Suited for Battle is a 20 to 30 minute solitaire playing card game um, that's still in early alpha beta concept phase. I do have quite a bit of the rules, and I think the core gameplay you're going to see here is pretty solid, but there's quite a bit of playtesting I need to do for balance. So that's why I wanted to make this video, show you what I've got so far, show you the rules, show you how the game is played, and then talk about the things that still need a little more playtesting and balance and polish. All right, so the game Suited for Battle is played over 12 rounds. There's going to be 6 rounds of training, followed by 6 rounds of combat. During the training rounds, you will learn and master various attacks, which are going to be card combinations you'll see, to prepare for battle. And then in the combat rounds, you're going to use these mastered attacks from the training phase to deal damage to the enemies. The goal is to defeat all 6 enemies. All right, so for setup, you'll need a standard pack of 52 playing cards, jokers removed, and then you can shuffle the face cards, although I don't even know why I say you do that because it doesn't really matter right now that I think about it out loud. So right now, yeah, you're gonna shuffle them, I guess, and then place them face down in a row. Okay, hopefully this is on camera. And really what these serve, you'll see here, is kind of like to help track the rounds. Okay, I think that all kind of fits in camera. All right, so really right now, these face cards help. You're gonna slowly flip them over as you'll see in gameplay. Their suit and their rank have no function right now. Maybe they will at some point, but I guess out of habit, I had you shuffle them up. All right, so then the third step, you're going to shuffle the remaining cards to form the main draw deck. All right. And then this is why I had a little bit of hesitancy to enter this into the design contest, is because it's not strictly cards. You are going to need like a kind of a score sheet, which is allowed for the contest. Doesn't affect gameplay, it just helps score it, I believe. But so you're going to need to grab a pencil and a copy of what I'm calling the training log. The training log isn't complete yet. It's just basically a very basic list right now here. So we'll just focus on that. All right. And that is it for setup. And so what you're seeing here, this is a list of all these attacks that you're going to be training and learning. The combination you need to learn them, and then how much damage they do. Damage doesn't matter during the training phase, it will during combat phase. So let's talk about now the game. The game is played over 12 rounds, and it consists of 2 phases, training and combat. So the training phase, there's 6 rounds of the training phase, 6 rounds of the combat phase. The steps during the rounds for both phases is about 90% the same. There's a couple little differences between them. So let's start with the training phase. So every round, the first thing you're going to do during the training phase is you're going to flip over this card to reveal your current trainer. This is the person training you. All right. Then what you're going to do is you're going to start training. So you'll draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. And now you're going to use these cards to perform attacks. So these are the attacks that you can perform on this list. And so an example here, I've got 3 hearts. That's actually really good. I've got a pair of 7s. There's some simpler attacks here I could do, a red and an odd card. But since I've got a kind of difficult one here, I'm going to do Burning Cut, which needs 3 hearts. And then is there anything I can do with this? A black and an even doesn't work. Well, wait, no. This is a black and this is an even. So that's Silent Lunge. So perfect. I'm going to use all 5 cards. That's great. So now what you're going to do after you've generated and done these attacks and perform them is you're going to learn and master them. So the first time you you perform an attack, you make this combination, you're going to put a forward slash next to that attack in this little box here to indicate that you've learned the attack. So I did a black plus even for silent lunge, and then I did 3 hearts burning cut. Now the second time you encounter this, you're going to do so that was a forward slash, you're going to do a backslash to basically create that cross swords to say that you've mastered this attack and it's ready to be used in combat during the combat phase. Okay? Now Wild Strike here, you'll see any 2 cards, you've already mastered that. That's your default attack. You'll always be able to fall back on that if you want. All right, so I've done that. That's nice. I got to use all my cards. Now, the last step is gaining experience. So of the cards that you use an attack for, which we used all 5 cards this time that were in your hand, you're going to select one to stay with you as your technique card, right? You established a technique with these attack, and now it's going to be a permanent staple in your hand moving forward. So now on the next round, I'm going to have these 5 cards plus the 6th card. So now my hand has 6 cards. So I'm going to be getting more and more experience and more technique as I go farther along in the game. So let's just say, you know, a lot of times I might look at like ones that like 10 needs to be used a lot. So let's use 10. Okay. The rest of the cards, you're just going to discard. So that is it for training, one training round. So let's try and do it a little bit quicker this time. So first thing, I'm going to reveal my trainer. I'm going to draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I got to form my attacks. Remember that you have the 10 of spades there to make attacks. So, ooh, I don't think there's a sequence of 3, but there is a pair. It's not a specific pair. 2 of the same rank is the same as a pair here. So I have twin cleave. What could I do for these though? I've got 1 odd, 1 even. Or I could do red and odd. Let's do this. Hold on. Red and odd. Okay, so same rank. Red plus odd. And then what's the last one? 1 black, 1 red, dark slash. Okay, now I haven't mastered any of these yet. I'm still learning them. We're only in round 2. Okay. Let's keep an ace, and I'm going to keep ace of spades. Me personally, for rapid stab, I need 3 spades. And so with my technique cards in my hand, I might be able to just perform that attack during training. So, okay. There was our experience we gained. Let's discard our hand. And as you see, so now we're getting some more techniques. We're starting to learn some attacks. We haven't mastered any yet. So let's play the 3rd round. Four, 5. Okay. Shoot. So I need 3 hearts, and I don't have that to master it. 2 the same rank. Do I even have that? Wow. Oh, no, I do. I think I might do that. So 2 the same rank for twin cleave. Can I do any harder ones? Yeah, I mean, ace, 5. Ace, 5. Shoot, I'm missing the 9. I can't do the 2, 6, 10. I don't have a 2. I don't have a lot going on here. I can do a sharp pierce. That leaves these 3 cards unused, and I'd really like to use them. So what can I do? I could do true slash too. So let's do that. So I'll use this and the ace and the 3 for true slash. I've got a sharp pierce. I'm going to master the twin cleave. So that's my first master. Did I miss anyone? No, I got sharp here. True slash, cleave, and then this 6 was kind of wasted. Bummer. Okay. So now I could keep this, which then always keeps a pair, and I might even get a 3 of the rank with a Trinity Pierce. So I think I'm going to keep that 10. All right. So as you see here, you're slowly learning them. I've learned quite a few of the weaker ones. I haven't really got to the stronger attacks yet. But as I get more and more cards, that will be easier and easier, because now my hand technically on the next round, so on round 4 here, is going to be 5 plus 3, so 8. So it's going to get easier and easier to do these harder and harder attacks. So I'm going to just kind of skip over the last 3 rounds here. So let's just say I'm just going to draw these and say that these were my technique cards that I saved. And let's say that I did get this. Let's say that I somehow mastered that. Okay, so let's just leave it at that. And I did chain rend. Okay. So you see there's some that I learned, but I never mastered. I've got a couple masters here. In fact, let's do, yeah, that's fine for this example. All right, so we've completed the first 6 rounds for training. Now we're gonna go into combat. So operates very similar with a couple changes. Structure is very similar, but here's the first thing that's different. When you flip this over, this is, instead of being your trainer, it's now an enemy that you're battling. So the enemy's hit points are going to be equal to the position in the row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's 7. It has 7. So that means this will have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hit points. And so you're going to need to defeat that and deal 7 damage to this enemy. So that's my current enemy. It's got 7 hit points. And now, just like train, instead now we're battling. So we're going to draw 5 cards. And if the deck ever is empty, just shuffle the discard pile to reform the deck. Okay. All right. So here are my cards. So I would perform attacks exactly the same way. The difference, though, is after you perform your attacks, right, you train in the training phase, I'm battling in the combat phase, then I learn those attacks or master them right afterward. Here, there's no more learning. So I'm not going to learn any new attacks. I'm locked in. There's no mastering them, right? I'm on the battlefield. I'm not getting that kind of training. I'm just going out there all crazy in combat. So no more learning, no more mastering, but how it works is if I perform an attack that I've mastered, it's going to do the damage listed here in this chart. So for example, if I do a linear jab, a sequence of 4, I'm going to do 4 damage to this enemy. But if I did a Trinity Pierce that I only learned, so I know about it, but I haven't mastered it, it's going to do 1 less damage. So I could get 3 the same rank, but it's only going to deal 3 damage. So what that means is that any of these learned attacks that only deal 1 damage are useless because they're going to deal 0. So Swift Cut, for example, here, I only learned it. It's going to deal 0. That would be pointless for me to even use because it's going to do nothing. So I've got quite a few attacks here, some learned, quite a few mastered, so that's good. I should be able to get to 7 hit points here, so let's actually look at our cards. I know I kind of cheated with these 3 last techniques, but it looks like, which is silly that I never did 3 of the same rank, but let's say that I did that. Let's see, that right now would be 3 damage. So I need 4 more damage to deal to this enemy. All right. So that's going to hurt. Basically, this is for 3 free damage, and I should have, which, right, I kind of skipped over, so I wasn't paying attention. I should have mastered that because that would have been basically 4 damage every round. But I've got 3, I need 4 more. So let's look at these 2s. This should be pretty easy to do. So 2 of the same rank. If I'm going to use those, I've got 2 9s here. Okay. 2 of the same rank. What else do I have? 1 club, 1 diamond, easy. I did a ton of damage. So I easily defeat that guy. And just like in training, although I can't learn new attacks or master attacks, I still do get a technique card. So we'll do the 9. Okay. All right. So you see here, quite interesting how like you kind of learn some of the attacks and then you're utilizing them in combat. Now, if I am not able to defeat an enemy, I immediately lose. I can't continue anymore. If I do, I go through the same motion. I got my technique card. Now, the things I need to play test are the enemies too easy? And I kind of short-circuited it, so I don't know if I'd actually have this many mastered attacks by the time I get to the combat phase. So are the length of phases fair? Should it be 6-6 like it is now? Should it be 7-5? Should it be 5-7? Should the enemies have more HP? Should their rank and or their suit have any meaning? Like, I can't play any cards, like my clubs this time are out, so Sharp Pierce, for example, would be useless because it is a club. Or if I had Verdant Slash, which is 3 clubs, that would be a useless attack against this enemy. I think I'm going to go with that. I don't know if that's too punishing or I'll make it a variant. So these are things I need to play test more. The attacks themselves. Do I have too many? Would it be better if I limited this more? Is the damage fair to how difficult or easy it is to complete that combination? So these are all things I need to play test, but I think the actual gameplay and the core mechanism here is really solid. So I'd love to hear your feedback, what you think of the game, and what you think on those playtest elements that I'm still balancing and tweaking. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.